Hey guys, insight number 5. We're in Psalm 27 verses 2 through 14 and we're talking about trust. So this whole week theme has been about trusting in the Lord. So the rest of David's words in Psalm 27, because the first verse we covered already, so the rest of the words teach us how to actually gain this trust in the Lord, which is his experience and how he did that. Because when he would have gone up against Goliath, he would have had, say, maybe this amount of trust. And as he went through the process of everything and becoming king and doing all of that, his trust grew. So it's not something that happens overnight. It is a process, and it was for me too. But these verses and some other scripture verses, there's some verses in Alma around how to trust the Lord and how to find strength in the Lord that really helped me to grow that trust. Because I was talking before in, I think, second or third insight about how as a child in an abusive home, that trusting people or whatever circumstance you've been through, maybe it was a bad divorce, maybe you just had like a really crappy, I don't know, whatever. But to actually trust people can be very, very difficult. We can trust them with some things and we can love them. Doesn't mean we trust them with guiding our lives and the bigger picture. It's actually a lot harder to do. So this really helps us. So the things he talks about, I've kind of synopsisized them. So do go read verses 2 through 14. They are really lovely. He talks about when a host encamps against him, that his heart doesn't fear because he knows the Lord's with him. The one thing he's desired of the Lord that he will seek after is to dwell in the house of the Lord. So he wants to be in the temple. That's the one thing he wanted to do. Remember, if you go back to when we were studying that, he really wanted to build the temple, and the Lord said, that's not your job. You're a king of wars. That's what you're meant to do, is to gather Israel as a people, which he did do. He did complete that, but he had a love for the temple, and he really wanted a permanent structure. So he did all the foundational, sort of get it ready to go. So his son Solomon was able to take over and build a temple. And unfortunately, Solomon really went off the rails and decided to worship false gods. But David never did. He always kept faith in God. Remember that. He knew who Christ was. He knew who God was, and he stuck with them. He said that, I'm going to sing your praises. When I cry with my voice, you have mercy on me and you answer me. And verse 8, he says, seek ye my face, and the Lord said unto thee, thy face, Lord, will I seek. The Lord said to him, seek me. And David's gone, yeah, I'm going to seek you. Of course I am. And that's how we have that relationship with him. We have to make our efforts to meet him in that meeting place of spiritual meeting. It's not just all Christ trying to be our friend. It's like any friendship. Both parties need to make that effort to have that relationship and continue that relationship. Hide not thy face far from me. Leave me not. He says, when my mother and father forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. So I know the Lord's got me. Teach me the way. Lead me in a plain path. Deliver me of mine enemies. And he says, I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And then in verse 14, which I love, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. All about trust and waiting on the Lord. So, David's words teach us how to gain trust in the Lord. How do we actually do this, though? So, though we are surrounded by our enemies, we can have confidence of the Lord's protection and deliverance, especially if we keep our covenants. Even if it's a baptismal covenant that you've made, if you keep that covenant, it doesn't have to be temple covenants, although I encourage you to go do those. If you have not yet done those, or if you need to relook at those and think, are you actually keeping them? Could you be better at doing them? Have a look at that. But he's going to protect us. It's just that extra layer of protection if we're keeping our covenants. So, why wouldn't you want that, right? It's like free insurance. Have it. Okay. Praise and thank the Lord. Strengthen your relationship with him. So if you want to know how to trust in the Lord, it is the same as trusting in a friend. You don't just trust in a friend that you met for 3 seconds. You trust completely that friend. The more you know them, you learn more about them, you spend time with them, you get to know their character, their likes and dislikes. You kind of, you try it out a little bit. And you do the same thing with the Lord. And it is okay to do that. You can Like, okay, Lord, I'll trust you this much to do this and we'll see what happens. Try it out. If you're really fearful of letting go, just do a little bit at a time, because a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and that will grow to a whole lot. That's how it worked for me. Maybe that's what you need to try. A little bit, and it'll grow bigger. Pray. He hears and answers you. Seek him. Don't hide from him. There's no use hiding from him. He knows where you are. You don't have to hide things from him. He can see your entire life. You don't have to hide from him, oh, I lied about that, or I, kind of, swiped a pen from the hospital or something, that I shouldn't have. Don't think you can hide those things from him, or whatever else it is you've done. He knows everything you've done. Just talk to him about it, because he's going to help you. He's not just going to growl you. He just wants to help you. He wants to love you and help you get better and do better and be who you want to be. So whatever that is you choose to be, honestly, he just wants to help you be that and get there. So allow him to, right? Let him do that. Let him come in and lead that. Don't hide from him. Let him teach you, deliver you, and carry you. Now, that's a hard one for me because I'm incredibly stubborn. I'll do it on my own. I can do this. I've got this. And I had to be humbled the hard way, forcibly, where I literally said, oh, Lord, I can't do this anymore. You need to carry me. And I know he's carried me a lot of times, but I never liked the thought that he carried me. I wanted to think I could do it by myself, and I simply cannot. I need his help. So now I know, do that first. But I had to learn that the hard way. I would really hope you earn that the easier way. Probably not. For many of us, we're quite stubborn people these days. So maybe we're all learning that the hard way. But let him teach you, deliver you, and let him carry you. When you're struggling, let him carry you. Just let him do it. Wait on the Lord and his timing. We are better, his way are better than ours. His timing and his way are better than ours. He knows way more than we do. So learn to see and know that his knowledge of life far surpasses ours. Because it surely does. Our knowledge of life is like this tiny little speck. And even that we don't fully comprehend. And yet it is so much more than that. So just trust him because he knows and we don't. So let the shepherd lead you. The other one I've got down is to do this, trust and wait. And your heart will be strengthened. Sometimes trials are removed. Sometimes you're given strength to overcome them. So when David, he's talking about your heart will be strengthened, doesn't mean that your trials are going to be taken away. Sometimes the trial remains. Sometimes that physical pain's still going to be there. Sometimes it's going to get worse. But you will be strengthened to overcome that. And sometimes it feels like you're clinging on with one finger and you want to give up. Just keep praying because he will come in and save you. There are answers. They're just not always found right now. Sometimes you've got to wait. And that, for a human, for us sheep people, really hard. So, hang on there. All right. President Oakes, he said, faith in the Lord is trust in the Lord. We cannot have true faith in the Lord without also having complete trust in the Lord. In the Lord's will and in the Lord's timing. Yeah. We need that complete trust, that faith. And it's faith we need to have. And faith is letting go of what we want and what we think should happen and allowing the Lord to come in and direct us. And as a human being who's very stubborn, that does not come easy for me, but I have learned that it is the best way to be. So that's how David's words teach us how to gain trust in the Lord. Those are the things that we need to do. Form that relationship, wait on his timing, trust him. Yeah, how to trust him. We just need to, a little bit of trust, try it out, and it'll grow. So there you go. You got any questions? Please fire them at me. I want to hear more. I'm looking forward to doing more Psalms next week. I'm going to talk you through maybe even writing one. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm looking at the Psalms and going, this is a good theme to these ones. We'll put this together as a theme and see what comes out. Never know what words are going to come to me when I'm writing. I know the Lord gives them to me. And I have learnt some of these trials that I've been talking about and the things that I've been talking about this week. I've learnt that over a process of time. It did not happen overnight. I would love it to have been that way. It would have been a whole lot easier because, as I said, I'm really stubborn. So let go of some of that stubbornness. Allow the Lord in. See him as your light. Let him be your shepherd. Let him carry you. Let him help you because he wants to. So let him. All right. Love you guys. Stay safe. I will catch you next week where we can talk more awesome Psalm stuff. All right. See yous. Mwah.